They followed him around. He was shopping. He took 4 waters, he put them back. He even showed them by shaking his hoodie that he took nothing. And he walked out of the store. He didn't argue with them. He didn't have any confrontation. He didn't curse them. He just walked out. He was respectful. And yet 2 grown people chased him. He fell and they shot him. He shot him dead, like as if he was a dog. And I do not understand how that jury can come back and say that he was not guilty. He was in a runner's stance. It was shown by the pathologist, and they said he was not guilty. It was devastating for me to get a call from Alvin S. Glenn letting me know that Rick Chow was released. That broke me more than you can ever imagine, because my murderer of my son was set free. And it's not fair, and it's unjust. And nobody can tell me that this is not racially motivated, because I'm not supposed to be on social media anyway. But when I go and I look at my social media, I have racist people coming to my page, going under my son's pictures, leaving the most horrific things, saying that they're glad he's dead, good riddance, and I am tired. I don't want this to happen to any other child. No black or brown child should have to go through this. No parent should have to go through this. This has to stop today. And I just learned today that South Carolina, if it's a murder charge, that they cannot bring in any of your prior acts. Rick Chow shot 2 people before. Rick Chow accosted a child in that store and beat her up with a gun on her hip. And none of that information could be brought to light. And I do not think that is fair. And if that is on the law books, that needs to be changed. Because if that was not there, then my son would have gotten justice. And to allow this person to terrorize this neighborhood for 12, 13 years is ridiculous. And it's just showing that it's okay to treat black and brown people wrong, and it's not. My son loved everybody. He would tell me like, oh, Mom, you're being judgmental. You shouldn't do that. That's against God. And the devil shot him dead, and he laid right there. And we got no justice from South Carolina. And I think it is disgusting. And I don't even know why. I have no words. But every day I will not be able to speak to my son, hear his voice change, see him grow, go to prom. He will never get married. I would never hold my grandchildren, nothing. But Chow is able to go home with his lion son, Andy Chow, and they're able to have dinner with the wife, Alice, who all 3 of them came out that store, and they chased my baby. And I think the entire family should be held accountable because it was racially profiled. And I do not think that it is right, and they all should be punished. And I don't know what laws that we need to create to help our people, but it needs to be done, and it needs to be done now. Cyrus should not be gone. None of our children should be gone from the acts of racism, from profiling, from any of that. He should be here. And until the world treats us like we are human beings, I mean, come on. Y'all hire us. Y'all want us around. You like our culture. You want to listen to the music. You want to wear our clothes. You want to do all of that stuff. But when it comes to protecting us and when it comes to looking at our children, you look at us as if we are animals, and we are not. I am a college-educated woman. I hold a master's degree in information technology management. My son was not a thug. He was a 14-year-old boy who was trying to find his way. And for any person that acts like when they were 14, 15, 16, 17, that they did not do nothing wrong, that they did not smoke and drink and have sex and do whatever that they were not supposed to do by their parents, it is a lie. And it is judgmental, and I refuse to allow any of you to sit up there and make it seem like we were bad parents, because we were not. All of our children make mistakes, but I don't see anybody saying, oh, well, you know what? My kid did X, Y, and Z. My kid did X, Y, and Z. No, they're coming onto my page and try to demonize my child, and I will not have it. And it stops today. Keep your opinions to yourself. And until you are in my shoes and you have to bury a child, I don't want to hear nothing from you.
He should have killed both of them. Should have killed both them Peckerwoods. With a that's minding his motherfucking business, that don't bring harm to nobody. This kid ain't a bad kid. These bully white boys just fucking with the black baby. I met with his father. I've been meeting with his father regularly. He go beat these charges. I was under the impression that he brought a knife to school. So I take a knife to school, fuck him. He didn't take a knife to school. He didn't even know these two white boys. These two white boys just came over there with him because he was with another kid that knew those white boys. So he a new black kid who these big old white boys, big white boys. He a small frame kid. One of the white boys was on that side, one of the white boys on that side. So either way it go, they had him blocked in. And these some big white boys. These are some big, violent, aggressive white boys who got guns. And not only that, the one he killed whooped their daddy. See, the daddy coming into the picture playing like he been around. The dad ain't been around. We would think the black dad ain't around. The white dad ain't around. The mothers don't even identify the daddy as the husband. So he must have been an abusive father. He ain't even been in their life. So he just coming and getting the light. So he a low down dirty cracker. His sons are bullies. They bullying on the kid. They, no. Get from up under the tent. Man, y'all tripping. I ain't going nowhere. And they got a reputation of beating up people. The one he had to stab, he broke his daddy's ligaments. Big old strong cracker.
Defend himself. And I'm going to say that if I am Karmelo Anthony's lawyer, I am arguing to the jury. My client felt that his safety was an imminent threat, that he felt he was about to be harmed by two football playing brothers, both of whom weighed 60 to 70 pounds more than him, and with a combined weight, Art, of nearly 500 pounds. A combined weight, these two brothers, Austin and Hunter, of nearly 500 pounds against this one skinny 160-pound black boy, Karmelo. Under those circumstances, Art, I believe that he had a right to stand his ground. If I'm 160 pounds and two football playing brothers with a combined weight of more than 400, nearly 500 pounds are coming to jump me, and I'm only 160 pounds, and I'll warn them, touch me again and see what happens. He's warning them, Art. He's warning them. I don't want no trouble. But if y'all think y'all going to hurt me and do damage to me, I'm going to do whatever I can to protect myself. And according to the law, Art, he was within his right to do so. I don't think he intended to kill the brother. I think he just intended to jab him so he would back off. But when you are afraid, when you are scared, when you are timid, when you are fighting for your life, Art, you will do anything. How many women have shot and killed domestically abusive husbands and didn't do it on purpose? How many women have shot and killed domestically abusive husbands, but they didn't do it on purpose? They did it out of fear that I need to act before he acts. And if I miss, I might die. He could have been beat to death that day, Art. Karmelo Anthony could have been beat to death that day, and instead he chose to stand his ground. So what's the problem then, Art? Why are white folks all up in arms over this? Y'all wasn't up in arms when Breonna Taylor got murdered. Y'all wasn't up in arms when Trayvon got murdered. Y'all wasn't up in arms with Freddie Gray or Philando Castile or Tamir Rice or Sandra Bland. Y'all wasn't up in arms with Amir Locke, Sonia Massey. All these black people murdered by police and so-called vigilante white people. Y'all didn't say nothing about them. Kyle Rittenhouse crossed state lines, Art. Kyle Rittenhouse crossed state lines, bought a rifle, crossed state lines, unalived two people, injured many others, and he went home free. No conviction. George Zimmerman pursued Trayvon Martin with a gun, shot him in cold blood. He went home. No conviction. Daniel Penny choked our brother Jordan Neely to death in a New York City subway. Daniel Penny choked Jordan Neely to death in a New York City subway, Art. No conviction. Daniel Penny pursued Jordan Neely. George Zimmerman pursued Trayvon Martin. Kyle Rittenhouse crossed state lines and pursued trouble, and they went home without a charge. Karmelo Anthony was sitting under a tent so he couldn't get wet. He was sitting under a tent so he couldn't get wet, and two racist white boys, rest in peace to Hunter. Condolences to his family. But these two racist white boys thought they had a right.
But what this process did is shown that black lives do not matter in Collin County. It showed us that time and time in American history, it has shown us to remove emotions from yet the law. This trial showed that it put emotions over the law. After Trayvon Martin and so many countless names, it has shown us that black life is not safe in Collin County. It showed us that they did not listen to the law. It showed clearly that a judge interfered in this process. It showed very clearly that a black boy was allowed not one black soul on a jury. An all white jury convicted him in 2 to 3 hours. We know that they did not prove their case. They are currently sentencing Karmelo Anthony, but we know that the Next Generation Action Network put the first $10,000 towards an appellate attorney. And we will fight Collin County like hell.
If the white kid would have stabbed the black kid at the track meet, the headlines would have read, "Track star tragically kills student in self-defense accidentally." Instead, it's 14-year-old thug brutally murders track star in cold blood. Y'all see the difference? Do y'all see the difference in headlines? Goofy? Obviously, none of the kids should have been stabbed, obviously. But if it was the other way around, the headlines would have been very different. They would have said, "Oh, Austin Metcalf is such a promising student. He's so athletic and he's so..."
One of the fucked up things is, if that was a white kid stabbing a black kid in a tent, that white kid would have got off scot-free with that shit. If the situation was in reverse, and Karmelo Anthony was the victim, they would have tried to demonize the hell out of Karmelo Anthony. Straight up. This justice system is fucked up. Rick Chow get off. But, Karmelo was forced into a situation of self-defense and gets 35 years. That's why I think, we gotta stop being so eager to hang out with, you know what I'm saying? Because these motherfuckers will take a life and they'll get off scot-free with that shit, man. You really gotta, watch how certain people move and operate. And, see if that's the crowd we want to be hanging out with or not. We gotta be more aware of our surroundings and the people, we put ourselves around. I'm talking to certain people in a specific group in this video, But, this justice system is fucked. And, they only want it to work for them. And they don't give a fuck about it working for us black people. Street justice is all I can say.